Hey everybody, I'm really excited to be introducing our required film for Module 2, Alfred Hitchcock's horror classic, Psycho. I've shown it many times in previous classes in all the years I've been teaching it, and it always goes over well with students. Psycho is a really great example of Hollywood in transition. It's a director at the top of his game, pushing boundaries at the time. This movie does the unthinkable for audiences at the time. It casts Janet Leigh, a famous actress, and then it does something to her character that no other film had done yet. I don't want to give anything away in case you haven't seen the film. And then its star, and she gives a great performance. Janet Leigh, by the way, is the mother of Jamie Lee Curtis, who just won an Oscar this year for Everything Everywhere All at Once, and also starred in the Halloween films. What's interesting about that too is Psycho is really one of the first slasher films leading to Halloween, Friday the 13th, and those types of genre. But Psycho looks at a woman who gets involved in murder and madness at a rundown motel on a deserted roadway, and there she meets a interesting, neurotic kind of mama's boy, Norman Bates, well played by Anthony Perkins, in probably one of the greatest performances on film of all time. Perkins is so good as this mama's boy, neurotic Norman, that he was really typecast the rest of his career playing those similar type of characters. He even played Norman Bates 3 more times in sequels in the 80s and 90s. And part 2 isn't bad, but the other sequels aren't too good. This is really a brilliant film that pushed boundaries in terms of how violence can be portrayed, how it can be implicated. There's a sexuality to this film that we don't see in other films prior to this. In fact, the opening scene, we see a man and woman in a hotel, and Lee is in her lingerie. Some interesting things happen in the film. In fact, one good trivia point is this is the first film in Hollywood history where you see a toilet flush. You've never seen a toilet until 1960s Psycho. So again, this is a great film, and it's Hitchcock, who was one of our masters of a visualist, visually using camera shots, editing, sound to really get the suspense and the horror across. Film audiences, this might look tame now to students that are used to horror films with a lot of blood and a lot of suspenseful scenes, but nobody had seen anything like this at the time, and audiences were terrified. I hope you enjoy it, and look forward to your discussion on Canvas.